You said I could make do with just tortillas and huevo.
No, but it's doradas, Marcela.
I know, but just tortillas and huevo.
It's the crunchiness. I fucks with the migas, Marcela.
I gotta have protein.
I mean, it's cool too. That's cool.
I would feel like
second to migas is what?
Weenies?
Nah, chorizo.
Chorizo.
Huevo con chorizo.
What?
Look, here are the rankings of Hispanic huevos. For me, migas, chorizo, jamón, salchicha, machacado.
No.
And then like regular huevo. Actually, I would prefer like regular huevo instead of machacado.
What about con papas?
Really?
Con papas? I don't know. Papas is okay. If you give me papas with chorizo, then you...
what about frijoles?
Like in the huevo?
You know, like...
that's fine. But
refritos?
like refritos, though.
Yeah, like the frito was the one that mom
the
makes.
crushed up, like...
No. Like the ones that... Like the ones that mom makes that are like super like dark looking. Those that are like...
The artery cloggers?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one
That's the
there,
one.
bro.
Okay.
But I take that with all of my huevos. Like
that's just an
frijol
addition.
is not part of the huevo.
Okay.
That's just the
perfect
pairing.
I like huevo a la mexicana a lot.
Huevo a la mexicana, but I also
hard.
like
if you add a la mexicana to everything, I would eat it.
Over medium eggs with huevos divorciados are good. Have you seen it? Have you had them? You know what that is? It's like an over medium egg, and one of them is bathed in salsa roja, and the other one's is
like a chilaquil, like the chilaquiles.
No, well, one of them is like super red because they put it in the salsa roja, and the other one is super green because they put it in the salsa verde, and then they put them together and it's huevos divorciados. Because it's like, it's good.
It's good. This is taking me back to the chilaquiles I had at Valeria's wedding.
Chilaquiles go hard too because of the crunchiness.
After the party, like the meal that they gave us while everybody was already drunk and shit, they just came out with chilaquiles and we were like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, baby, and we're just eating chilaquiles like ain't nobody's business. Fuck yeah.
Mexico's undefeated, bro.
I would say my huevo thing would be huevo a la mexicana, huevo con machacado, weenies con huevo con jamón, but it's gotta be the way mom makes it, that's like real salty, you know, like salty.
Yeah,
and then I'd have huevos con migas, and then huevos con chorizo. Huevo con chorizo.
You don't fuck with chorizo like that?
I do and don't, because I had one bad experience of like having chorro? Like no. No, like I had like it had like a little nerve or something in it, and after that,
so it's like that little.
So like the little like I heard it in my brain. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you eat something that like it rubs. It's like like when you like put your nail on the chalkboard. That I heard that while I was eating, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I didn't like it, and so it kind of traumatized me. But it tastes good. I just like.
In South America and Latin American countries, chorizo means sausage to them. So if you go up to them and they're like, let me get a chorizo, they'll just give you a weenie.
Like in
and
Argentina,
for us, it's like, what are you doing? That's salchicha.
Like in Argentina,
they'll give you like a chorizo. They'll give you like
chorizo. You're like,
and then they'll just give you a sausage. Like to them, chorizo
so what
is
sausage. Chorizo?
Huh?
What's their chorizo?
Sausage.
No, like what is their chorizo? Like our chorizo, what is theirs?
404 error does not compute. What the fuck are you saying?
What do they call?
Like what do they call our chorizo?
Oh, got it. I see what you're saying.
Like what's theirs?
What do they call our chorizo? They call it
do they even have it?
Yeah, it's like a what the fuck? Like spicy pork, like because it's spicy to them. Our chorizo is spicy to them. So they call it something else. They call it they probably call it Mexican sausage, like Mexican chorizo. Just like specifically.
Oh.
Yeah. But like to them, like if we say salchicha, for Mexico, salchicha is the casing, a sausage casing.
Yes.
Right? Because anything could be a sausage. You could put rabbit meat or like deer meat in a sausage, right? Like you can get like a rabbit hot dog or like a deer hot dog because all they have to do is put it in the casing and that's a sausage, right?
Yes.
So For us, salchicha is the sausage link, right? And then, of course, like, however people be making sausages or whatever, then fine, whatever, right? But chorizo for us is very specific, spicy pork.
It's the, like,
sausage.
mold up pork.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
With its spices added,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can make it with things. But you know what hits hard, though? Papas con chorizo. Just like alone. For like
With no
gorditas.
huevo?
Con gorditas.
oh yeah. That's different though.
Put
we,
that
we,
shit on the gorditas, like in the morning when mom makes them fresh.
we have to stop doing these long ass intro segments when we
Yo,
start
for real.
recording, because I haven't even said welcome back. Degenerates here. It's a Sunday. We're drinking the world's best beer. It really is the world's best beer. This is not a promotion. It's not a paid promotion, but Delirium, if you want to get on this, be ahead of the
Please.
curve. We would love for us to be able to promote your Elefantito,
El elefantito.
right? The Dumbo beer fits. It fits with us. The
El
Dumbo beer.
beer.
But listen, like, subscribe. It's fantastic. I think it's fall already, and what
It's
we're
fall
what
season, baby.
and what I want to talk about today is the fact that I am confused and very torn, at a tug of war inside my heart.
Why?
About Hispanic Heritage Month. I don't know how to feel about it.
What you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What you mean? What you mean?
First of all,
You don't feel proud?
I'm proud. To me, this is my ego. To me, every day of the year is Hispanic Heritage Month. I don't know what
El
you're talking about.
madre
Like,
con
if we walk in a room, here's what I'm saying. You can't go anywhere in Texas without it being a Tex-Mex restaurant,
no,
Hispanic,
eso sí.
a Mexican restaurant, this
Eso
and that. Like, y'all are already celebrating Hispanics out here every day. Y'all can't live without
yeah.
us. Y'all overcharge for guac. Y'all don't even call chips and cheese. Y'all say queso because you know what the fuck y'all talking about, because that comes from us.
Honestly, like,
you know what I mean?
It's kind of offensive that they don't even call them totopos. Like, it kind of bothers me.
Right, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
you know what,
you can't live without us. Right? There's a new tequila every like 3-4
That
hours.
is so true.
Right? Every celebrity wants to make a tequila, and I'm not mad at y'all. Tequila is the fucking elixir of the gods. But I'm just saying, y'all already can't live without us. So as far as I'm concerned, the United States of America might as well be Hispanic heritage country.
Sure.
And I know that y'all might get pressed about that, and we can have a whole serious argument. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic, but in my mind, I'm like, shit.
Okay, I can see that. So what's the problem of, like...
I don't know if there's a problem. That's
or
my
like,
point.
what is it that's making you like, I'm
The
indifferent
thing-
about
this is the first
Hispanic
year, this is the
heritage
first year ever in my entire history of living here that I have actually, like, processed the thought that there is actually a Hispanic Heritage Month. I've never celebrated that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I never celebrated that in school. They didn't make me dress up as a matachin in school, but you know what I mean? Like, whenever we were, that never happened. I don't remember. No, I don't remember September coming and then people were like, today we're gonna learn about, like, no.
Bueno, vale que, like, I think right now.
What did you just say?
Bueno, vale que.
Oh, I thought you said wale. I'm like, wale. Wale,
Vale
bang, bang.
que nowadays, like, these, like, months of like representation for a lot of different, both like Asian Heritage Month and like Black Heritage Month and all that stuff, like, are becoming a lot more like consumed by the masses. So, like, I can see where, like, it's becoming more of like, oh, okay, cool, now we're actually celebrating our, like, whatever, which I think is, like, it's cool. Me personally, I'm indifferent about it. I appreciate that people are, like, having little, like, flea market things for, about to say something, but, like, this is really more for the white people, because, like, or, like, people who are not necessarily, like, hit Mexican or, like, from their country, like, or aren't directly tied to their country by, like, a parent that was born there, or you being born there yourself, because I feel like there is a slight different, like, way of growing up from people who are directly correlated or directly tethered to that country in terms of, like, knowing its traditions.
Yeah.
So, like, for us, going to go get, like, pan on, like, on a
pan
Sunday,
dulce,
like, pan dulce or whatever, un elote, or
raspita.
going to, like, La Pulga or whatever isn't a foreign concept,
Right.
because our parents are from Mexico. we are directly tethered to Mexico. Like we go there often. It's not like we're shy to the idea of like indulging in these like Hispanic practices. Meanwhile, there are people whose family were not brought up that way, who aren't actually tethered to Mexico or any other Hispanic country or Latin American country as like closely to it. So like during these months, they get to go to like little markets that people have and things like that.
They call
and
them
they're
farmers
like,
markets.
Yeah, like farmers
that's
markets.
the pulga.
And my thing is, it's like a lot of it is like no, I'm not gonna get upset at it. But like, get your bag, bro, because like the white folk go down to navigation on their little market thing days during this month and go and pay for overpriced fucking pan dulce, or go pay for like overpriced fucking like
it's the heritage tax.
Like folklorico, like la ropa folklorica, like that kind of stuff. Bro, if I'm
gonna dress up in the native garments, you gonna get the heritage tax,
and you gonna have to pay the money that it's not worth. Like it really is.
You said farm to table. I said rancho to table.
Exactly.
I said it's not really a rancho. Down the street, homie got a.
Yeah.
they got gallinas back there. They just roam free. They're free roaming.
Yeah.
They're organic. But they be on navigation though.
Yeah.
They're not on the pasture.
Yeah.
They're not on the farm.
And I mean,
they're
like,
right there on Drennan. They're on Kreitz. They're on Kreitz Street in Sawyer, right next to the Guadalupe.
They really are. But like the thing is, it's like you see those things, and it's like as a Hispanic or like as a Mexican American that's very much tied to their Mexican roots, it like you said, like I celebrate it all the time.
Right.
I'm doing it all the time.
Right.
Like I am doing those things all the time.
Well,
I have my, like, for instance, we have had I guess now we're at that point of our lives or age where like we have known a lot of people who have now passed, right? So like mom has an ofrenda all year long now. You know what I mean? Like we've got our things, and it's no longer this like
foreign
concept of like celebrating certain things like in our Hispanic culture, like as it was before. Now I can understand where like this concept of like celebrating a month for us is cool, and it's like the representation for a lot of other countries that maybe don't get talked about. Because let's be real, when you talk about Hispanic heritage, like I think a lot of the times even people who are not Hispanic only ever really try to associate Hispanics to Mexico, because Mexico is so big. Yeah, especially in Texas, because we're so big, or it's so big that like.
But you know, I was having a conversation. I did an identity crisis episode with this with this woman. Her name is Gracie from the Mija Listen podcast over there in San Antonio. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Mija Listen. Everybody go watch that. It's great. She's having great conversations over there about identity specifically. And she put me on game. She was like, I feel really weird at a tug of war of Hispanic Heritage Month. And I joined her with that because I didn't even know. And she put me on game. And she was like, you know, it wasn't even brought by us. It was some like congressman in California, and I think he was a white man. And like,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And I was all like, wait, we didn't drive the ship in the conspiracy. They're like, she's like, nah, it don't got nothing to do with us.
It's just one
in
of
terms
those,
of like who put it together.
Yeah.
Now she was like, now I've come to the realization that like, this is a good opportunity for a month to be able to like, you know, people learn more, educate people, and start the dialogue. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know. But again, I think that we're privileged as Hispanic people, as Mexican people. We're privileged. Texas, despite all the villainization of immigrants in the national dialogue, especially because election year is coming, so you know they're gonna vilify us. Right? That whole open border shit is coming, right? Despite all of that, there is not one aspect of this of American culture, at least in the Rio Grande South, is what I'm gonna call it, the bordering states of Mexico, where we have not penetrated every ounce of that culture.
Oh yeah.
Like, we are everywhere, from the cuisine.
Go to Laredo, and Laredo is like, literally from the cuisine. The Mexicans,
I don't know how many Chinese restaurants got hella Mexicans in the back.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I just never registered we need a month because I'm like, y'all can't live without us.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
We're the backbone of every part of the bordering state's economy.
Yeah.
We are the backbone.
And I think,
you know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of like, I think for Hispanics, the idea of not like you said, like we didn't grow up with a Hispanic Heritage Month. It
Right.
was just like, we're just Hispanic and that's what we are. Right. Now I do feel like it's very, like important to talk about it. Like for instance, my daughter going to be a second generation, or I guess technically second/first like generation, like Hispanic here. I think for her generation and the generations to come after that are no longer going to be as tethered to Mexico as we would hope that our kids would be, right, in the future. It's important for like things like this to become a norm, being like, oh my God, like this is like something where I get to learn a little bit more about my culture and things like that. Because it goes back to the fact that like I have friends who know nothing about Mexico, who've never stepped foot in it except going to like
Cancun
or Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, whatever, right?
Tulum.
Yeah, like, and us, like, we go and we're in our like grandparents' homes and it's hot and we're just like have the windows open and we're just laying on the beds because it's so goddamn hot that we're just like, I don't want to do anything. Like,
But it's also magical.
But it's, dude, it's like you know, time slows down when you're over there because time moves slowly in a place where it's not like, it is high paced, right? But it's
in the
just
motherland.
But it's not the same, right? Like people are walking everywhere. People are.
Yeah.
It's weird because I was kind of going off on a different tangent, but like appreciation of Mexico is that I explained to somebody that Mexico, or like this city, like especially our city, Monterrey, like it never sleeps. Like I thought that when I would think of, oh, the city that never sleeps, and you think of New York, right? And I think of like, I think here, and I'm like, no, here in Houston, like we sleep. You know, we got about 3 hours where we sleep.
Yeah.
From 2.
It's quiet.
From 2 to 5, right? 2 to 5 in the morning is
2
when
to 5, 2 to 5,
2 to 5, 2 to
3
6,
to 6,
3 to
depending
6,
on the day.
Depending on the day, right?
Yeah,
Depending
because
on
then after hour spots go hard.
Yeah,
on
they
Friday
do go
and
hard.
Saturday.
They do go hard. But like I think there are some times where like the city is quiet. There's like food places aren't open, things like that. But I think you go to Monterrey and you're driving around. I've gone clubbing in Monterrey. I've gone to these restaurants. Them bitches is open. That you got people still waiting or like still eating at the taco stands. The taco stands got straight going. You know, like all of the stuff, and it's just like that city never actually sleeps. Like I think
Monterrey is the best city in Mexico. Maybe it might be.
I think there's a collective like opinion in Mexico as when talking about cities. People don't necessarily like La Ciudad de Mexico because
it's a little dirty.
Because it's a little dirty, yeah, and it's like a little too rambunctious. Like it's just a little too much. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Monterrey is the second biggest city in Monterrey. In Mexico.
Second biggest, first prettiest though.
Yes. Well,
in terms of cityscape.
In terms of
I'm sure there's like little town like Guanajuato and Irapuato might be beautiful.
Pero those are like pueblos mágicos that are like obviously picturesque, beautiful cities, right? Even when we went to like, where did we go?
Saltillo.
Not Allende.
Did we go to San Miguel de Allende?
No.
But we went to Saltillo. It was close to Saltillo. I don't know where we went.
I don't know.
It was amazing.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful, right? And like those places are like los mágicos, right? Like they're pueblitos, beautiful places, right? But like you think a city and like Monterrey is a beautiful city, right? And
it's gorgeous.
And it's like mom took a landscape. She was. Yo, let me just kind of now where they were talking about Hispanic heritage. Mom and dad were in Mexico, right, for our grandfather's 90th birthday. Shout out to the Gramps.
Shout out to the
OG.
Patriarch.
Shout out to the OG.
In a good way. Don't be starting shit.
And they were invited to go to a somebody's like birthday or somebody's like celebration of something. They had a whole as cumbia band.
Fire.
En la Lázaro, bro. So se fueron al monte. They were like on the monte side.
Fire.
It was like land, like the street itself was so slanted, people couldn't even dance on it. But the cumbia was fucking fire, bro.
Next level.
I was like, yo, let's go. Like Celso Piña, what they were playing it, and they had the whole vibe going. Mom took a picture, like a video of the city because they were so on top of the hill. There's no lights there.
Yeah.
So there's barely any lights there, only the lights from the houses. But she got like a panoramic panoramic shot of like Monterrey, and you just see all the lights going down and like all this beautifulness. And mom was like, bro, like this is
magic.
The prettiest city I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, look, I come from.
You might be pushing it, but yeah, I see it.
For her.
Yeah, she ain't never been nowhere.
She ain't never seen these cities.
she ain't never been nowhere.
She ain't never been
About
nowhere.
to take her somewhere.
Like, we gotta go expose her to the world.
Like, I don't know, bro. I was on the French Riviera.
Right,
You know what I mean? And I saw what that looks like. I saw the mountains. I drove through. I was on a train from La Spezia, Italy, to Milan, and I don't know, bro. That shit was beautiful. It was next level, but I digress. You know what
I think that's the Italian Riviera.
I know. I was in the French Riviera for a second, but then
okay.
I gave another example is I was also during La Spezia, and then I drove. I got on a train from La Spezia. It's like a 3-hour train ride to Milan.
Picturesque ass motherfucking places,
my
bro.
God, I was like, what is this? I am somewhere.
You ate their food and you were like, "Es
yeah,
esto?"
and then I was so disappointed. Yeah, see, it don't match. Like, anyway, that's where. Don't get me started. I'm about to go on my whole rant because I hate y'all in Europe for doing that shit to me. I hate it. Y'all done conquered the whole world. Didn't bring back nothing. Didn't bring back nothing. Y'all touched every inch of this planet and y'all couldn't bring back none of the good shit. God, y'all fumbled the way y'all fumbled that bag so bad. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. I'm never gonna get Italian mole, but it's okay. The point I'm making is that I think we are so privileged about living in a place that subtly puts Hispanic, at least Mexican culture, at a high pedestal, that it feels like in certain discourses, it feels like we're not appreciated, but it feels like they couldn't live without us. Yeah. So what I've reserved myself to now is I'm going to try my best to spend the rest of Hispanic Heritage Month and maybe doing a couple episodes of Identity Crisis where we're not talking about the Mexican experience and instead we'll highlight other parts of Hispanic culture that has nothing to do with Mexico. That may be like other. I find it other groups, other. Is it ethnic groups or nationalities? Other nationality groups that may get looked over in this month because because Mexicans really outnumber a lot of these people. I'm sure it's different in Miami. I'm sure it's different in New York. And it goes back
to the idea that it's just like Mexico is so big. So like the fact that we have more Mexican immigrants as opposed to like Salvador, and Salvador is so small. Like El Salvador is so small that like you can't possibly have that many, right? But like, yo, pupusas go hard, bro. Like that shit.
They're not better than gorditas.
Damn, you gonna start that?
Yeah, pupusas or gorditas. Let's go. But pupusas are not better than gorditas. Don't play me.
I don't know, man. Cause like,
and arepas are not better than gorditas either. Don't start with me.
Where are arepas from?
Colombia.
What is that?
Arepas is like a type of. They're all in the same like vein. It's like corn masa with like some sort of like stuff in there.
My thing is like my thing. All right, well, we're gonna have to fact check this before I start talking to my ass, right? But Mexico had corn before those countries had corn, right? So
maize. There's like 14 different. To Mexico. Yeah, there's like 14 different types of corn that are specifically native to Mexico, and they're actually protected by the World Health Organization.
Yes, because it's essential to life.
No. It's not only protected in terms of like migration. Yeah. It's protected in terms of purity.
Yes.
Like this is such an important grain. It cannot go extinct.
Yes.
It has to remain in this form, and it's like 13 different types of actual corn.
Well, because in my thing is, it's like if that is the case,
which is like, bruh, like
let's go
fuck it up, Mexico, bro.
Let's go.
What does French have that's protected? Nothing. Julia Child. That's played out. We're not doing that.
I'm trying to think of like what is French. Your French cuisine ain't
the croissant.
The croissant.
Everybody can make croissants. Damn, you should find her. She found her whole ID. So anyway, I think that's where I'm landing on Hispanic Heritage Month.
I think Hispanic Heritage Month, like, Yo, speaking of Hispanic heritage, look
at this.
the tacos, bro. I think it is important to have a month. Well, not necessarily a month, but definitely to have or start the dialogue and the conversation of embracing other Hispanic heritages that we might not like, that we do seemingly overlook, especially in Texas, where it's just so easy to overlook the where I think it's just so easy to overlook other ethnicities, or better said, other nationalities.
Yeah.
Here, like those of from El Salvador, Honduras, like Colombia, like even like I mean even Cuba. Like I get it, like all these different places that are like that maybe have like a higher representation in other cities of the world, but here specifically we're talking in Texas and Houston. As big and diverse as we are here in Houston being one of the most diverse cities in the States, apart from like obviously like New York and LA or whatever.
No, we are the most diverse.
Are we the most diverse?
Houston is the most diverse city in the world. I mean, in the country.
In the country, right?
It beat out Chicago, it beat out LA, and it beat out
New York.
It beat out New York.
I guess so, so like in our city.
I have to make an addendum though. When they say the most diverse, what they mean is that there's more concentrated people that are from different parts of the world and culture in one specific city.
Yeah.
Not that there are more of like, there's probably more Puerto Ricans in New York than there are Puerto Ricans here.
But there is Puerto Ricans here.
But when you compare the percentage of Puerto Ricans here, comparatively speaking, with every other nationality and group, there's more of everybody here as opposed to like one specific demographic somewhere else. Does that make sense?
I don't think that I think frequently in Houston you go around and you just see a bunch of people from a bunch of places.
The other addendum is we are the most diverse, but we are the most segregated.
Yes,
which is something that people don't tend to talk about.
People don't talk about that, but we are. We really are. Because we got our...
Yeah, we're the most diverse in terms of like the demographics in the city, but we're also the most segregated and excluded. And I don't mean that in a bad way, even though if you want to interpret it in a bad way, you could. I'm sure there's some examples. I mean that, I only say that because it might have just been naturally the way that happened. People gravitate towards the people that are most likely like them. So this is the city where like if you go to Ireland, there is a lot of Jewish people there because they've put together a lot of their community together. You go to certain neighborhoods, right? You know what I'm saying? So like,
if you're like in Ireland area and then you push a little bit further towards Bel Air, but not yet to Bel Air, you get a lot of like Central Americans, right? And so that's where you go to eat like authentic pupusas. That's where you go and eat authentic Honduran food, and like you have like all of these different like restaurants that are not like Mexican, right? And then you keep going down Bel Air and you'll end up in Bel Air in Chinatown where the street signs are literally in Chinese, right? And it's just like same way as like if you come in towards I guess what people consider Little Mexico is where we grew up. Really, I didn't really realize that was like a thing, but like all of our street signs are Hispanic names. It's like
not all of them, but there's some big prominent ones. Macario Garcia.
Like Macario Garcia, Cesar Chavez, like all of these names like that are like incorporated into the actual area. It's so big, you can't like Chinatown is still pretty much like it's just this little section of like Houston, right? Our little
and it's more like Asia Town.
It's just Asia Town.
Yeah, it's not necessarily Chinatown.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things there. But here in like what the Little Mexico part, it's so big. Yeah. And it's just so much, but all you see is is like Mexican restaurants. It's like you see things like El Charro, El Tapatillo, and all these things, right? And it's just like all Hispanic, not like, and it's all Mexican for the most part. Like I don't think there's like a Catholic church on every corner. It's like McDonald's over here, like right, like you just got them everywhere, right? So it's like things like that I feel. In Houston specifically, with us being so like diverse, I'm surprised at how Houston still like incorporates Hispanics so much. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Because like Houston might be the most diverse city in the United States, but I kid you not, even people I've met that are not from the United States, because I have a lot of friends who know a lot of people who are outside of, not even outside of Houston, they're outside of the United States. Like they've come here and they're like, oh, I'm from Korea, Japan, whatever, right? And it's just like, okay. and they come here and they're like, yo, everybody speaks Spanish here.
For real?
Like everybody speaks
That's
Spanish
what I'm
here.
saying.
And
It
it's
feels like
to us, I feel like Hispanic Heritage Month is kind of like nulled out because you're like, what do you mean? Like I incorporate Hispanic food and people and everything on a day-to-day basis.
I guess what I'm trying to say, I guess what we're trying to say is good job, Houston, Texas, for making us feel like we are appreciated and represented and thought about on a day-to-day basis, that whenever Hispanic Heritage Month does come around and we actually have to like process it, it doesn't feel like we haven't had the appreciation year round. Yeah. So good job, Houston.
Shout out to Houston.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right?
And I do think, and I do see where that crossroads happens. Now, I do, for like other generations and just for people who are no longer as tethered to their Hispanic roots as it happens in immigrated countries and in countries where you become an immigrant, right? An example of this, I met a girl who's like 4th generation Indian. That was from
Indian American or Indian?
No, Indian, like India, like from India.
Yeah.
From that, she came from Trinidad and like the islands.
And Tobago?
And Tobago, yeah. And she came into my job and I was helping her out. And I was just like, girl, what is you? Like, what are you? Because you don't look, I don't even know what you could look. She's like, no, my great grandparents were brought here as indentured servants to the island. And I'm here. I am not Indian. I'm so far from the culture. I don't even, I look it, right? But I'm not. And I thought about it like that kind of like concept. I was just like, yo, wait, like,
yo, we got to get to the identity crisis segment onto different nationalities.
I think that would be cool because she was explaining to me, she was just like, I feel disconnected from the motherland because it's not my motherland. Like it's not, my motherland is Trinidad and Tobago. Like that's where I come from. That's me.
But also Trinidad and Tobago pretty as fuck.
It's
bro.
pretty as fuck. She was showing me some stuff and I was just like, damn, girl, pictures, why are you here?
Hey, company retreat at Bora Bora.
At Bora Bora.
Hey,
for real.
Hey, talk to him.
But we were like, she was explaining that to me and I was just like, it did tie into the whole identity crisis thing of it being like, bro, like,
I feel like that's a big conversation. Yeah.
It's a big conversation because here specifically in Houston, you get a lot of that with Hispanics, with being like, I don't know, I know somebody who looks white as shit and their last name is Hispanic, and I'm just like, yo, where are you from? They're like, I don't know,
Ramirez,
like Martinez, like things like that, and I was just like, okay, like what's up? And they were like, well, my great grandparents were probably from Mexico. I don't know, but at least
it's your grandfather.
Yeah, like my grandfather's somebody from Mexico, but I don't know. I don't know anything about the culture because I'm not part of it. Like I'm so far from it. And to me, I think is at first, speaking on the whole Hispanic thing, like and then how you feel as a Hispanic kid growing up, right? I felt out when we were younger. I felt like I was like, damn, I'm so unfortunate enough to be so tethered to Mexico that I don't assimilate and I don't feel like I'm assimilating to the American culture enough, right? And I felt so like, man, like
tug of war.
Like, man, why couldn't we be like 2nd, 3rd generation? Why can't mom and dad speak English? And why is it so like difficult to feel like we are not the kind of Hispanics that people want here, right? Or the ones that are accepted here, right? But as I've grown up, I'm like, damn, that first of all, it's a shitty thing to feel as a kid, right? Because it's like, you're so tethered to it, right? But it's so beautiful that you're just like, God damn, right? But now as an adult, I'm like, God, thank you for me being the child that was born here, but is so still tethered to Mexico that I could still like feel it, right? I could still appreciate it. I could still accept it and understand it because we speak the language. We go and immerse ourselves in the culture. We don't feel weird immersing ourselves in it. Like we just feel like every other Mexican when we're in Mexico, right? We don't feel anything different. I don't feel anything different now, right? Because I've finally been able to understand I'm both Mexican and I'm both American. Yeah. Right. So that conversation, right? But that tug of war did happen a lot when I was younger. And it's so crazy to me because there's people who are in that 2nd and 3rd generation, like Mexican Americans that are like, I wish I was you. I wish I had been you.
Yeah.
that had that opportunity to be tethered to the motherland like that, but not like I don't know it, and now I'm just here with the last name, with the looks, with the everything, but I don't know anything about it.
Consider this your public service announcement, people that are probably going through something similar than what Marcela described. Consider this your public service announcement that if you are living in the United States of America, and if you are feeling like you're having that identity crisis, that you are, despite what anybody tells you, whoever tells you, whatever nationality tells you, you are 100% American, and you're also 100% able to appreciate your heritage, roots, and where you come from without dishonoring either or. Your perspective and your perspective, your ethnicity, your roots are valuable, and they contribute to the ever-growing tapestry that is American culture. So keep digging and keep pushing forward.
Yes.
That being said,
we will be your friendly neighborhood
comrades
who will be telling you about your little things. So check out our identity crisis podcast, because
shameless plug.
We will be tethering you back to your motherland.
Yeah.
Even if it's not ours.
Yeah. So
on that note,
we have to go into something lighter, because the week is crazy. The week just keeps going, and time keeps flowing. And I want to know, why in the world is everybody obsessed with Travis and Taylor?
Please, okay, I was so ready.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go hella talk my shit?
I want to go first.
Okay,
because
go first.
I need y'all to know that, like, first of all, I'm not necessarily a Swiftie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Like, I like her music. Don't get me wrong. I'll jam out to her music all the time, but I'm not necessarily like oh my God, I'm a Swiftie, right? But I'm invested. Okay. Like, my entire Instagram has been just like her and Travis Kelce. And I'm just like, look, I get it. Like, I don't know what people's opinions on this thing is. And I really, frankly, am not like, don't care too much about whether or not people find it. Like, I find it kind of funny. Like, I find it, one, it's funny that people are now being like, oh my God, like, Taylor put Kelce on the map or whatever. And it's fun. I think it's funny to me, but it's funny to me because as a girl who is aware of both like the gaming, or like the not gaming,
the football, soccer,
sports. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, sports world, and like this like whatever world about the music industry. I find it funny because I'm just like, obviously not. This dude like literally won a Super Bowl. Like, his name is, it's got notoriety to it, right? In their world. Mm-hmm. But it's funny to see this weird clash of like worlds where it's like these like Taylor Swift, like the effect that Taylor Swift has on like everything.
Yeah, that's undeniable.
And its fans, like her fans really went in on this man, bro. Like, and they went in, like they like bought all his shit. Like, the Chiefs are now like, people are broadcasting it. Girls or people who are Swifties are now just wanting to watch this game because they're like, that's her man's. I'm gonna support her man's because I support her. It's like, yo, the
weird as fuck.
The undenying like loyalty that they have to this woman is insane to me. It's so wild to me. It's so impressive, but also like, ugh. Like, Taylor
has a gravity about her what's the word about her? Taylor Swift's trajectory, her career has definitely garnered a gravity and a phenomenon that is undeniably strong and like God tier, God level, right? However, I'm not a Swiftie either.
Yeah.
I don't like Taylor Swift in general, generally speaking. The details of that are for another episode. However, I hate whenever people put me in a situation when I have to defend her.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Did they put you in that situation?
I hate that. Yes, Twitter all week has been, or for the past 2 weeks, has been putting me in situations where I have to defend this woman Because one of the national dialogues is, of course, what you're saying, how Swifties are gravitating towards this like seemingly non traditional pairing. But then there's this other national narrative of who his exes are. Have you seen that?
People are talking about his exes now?
Because here's the thing. Travis Kelce, apparently, I did not know this because I don't be looking or watching at people's relationship because it's none of my fucking business. But apparently, due to the Twitters, to the Twitter space, Travis Kelce has dated a lot of black women. And specifically, a lot of fine ass black women. Like some of these women look good. Like, wow.
And some of them spoke out. Like,
Oh, did they?
yeah, so one of them is like, this dude's a bad, like,
Okay, sure. He might be bad. He might not be bad. Doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, generally speaking. But the thing that irritates me is that he's dated some really, really attractive. I'm gonna show them to you.
Okay, I didn't even know. I have not paid.
Oh, some of these girls are fine. Like, it's not even close.
Juan's like, look, I feel so passionately about this.
No, for real. Like, watch this. Hold up. Let me see. There's gotta be like better photos of this.
Okay. I mean, I'm getting Instagram baddies from all of these girls. Like,
Nah, some of these girls are models.
are they in Vogue?
I don't know. I don't know what Anna Wintour chooses or what she doesn't.
Well, because it's the thing. If you ain't been in Vogue, then don't tell me you model. Know what I'm saying?
Okay. We Drake loyalists over here.
We are. I am.
What's the name of his most recent ex? He's dated a couple black women before, but what's her name? Maya? No.
Just look up Travis Kelce relationships instead of exes.
Maya. It's not Maya though. Oh, but I guess we can see the pictures here.
Okay, so what's the point about them being like attractive? Like what has caused you to have to defend Taylor Swift?
So there's a national dialogue about Travis Kelce dating former almost exclusively dating black women, and how black women specifically have said, wow. Essentially what they're insinuating is that him dating black women was performative to some degree, and in some way, shape, or form, that now that he's with a white woman, that he like one of the big tweets was, of course he's dating a white woman after he's done with the black women. Like, it just proves that in some way, shape, or form they always use black women as a fetishization of the black woman and the colored woman, and or like woman of color and this and that, and that he doesn't really like black women, that he actually they always go back to the milk or whatever, right? And I got irritated because it makes me defend Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, what if, bro? What if he was dating some of these black women because he liked them, because he got to know them. Mm-hmm. There was qualities about them that was good to him, that he liked, explored that, didn't work out, happened to meet Taylor. They happen to vibe, and then now there's a whole other set of qualities about Taylor that he's like, I really like this girl. Okay, you know what I mean?
My thing with the whole Taylor Swift thing is like, I didn't even know that about his exes, right? But this is the thing. It's like when you're talking about a girl that has this much like this girl has power, this girl has notoriety, this girl is Taylor Swift. Like this is Taylor Swift, right? Like when you think about
Pay attention.
She's at the Chiefs game right now too. Like when you think about Taylor Swift, there is a weight that is added to Taylor Swift, right? And when you think about a football player dating a pop star, right? Like or anybody dating a pop star or anybody that's in the limelight as much as a woman like Taylor Swift is, like you can't expect that their exes or things like, unless these people were rich as fuck, unless these people had some sort of talent that has brought them to fame before you. Like if you were only known as being this person's girlfriend, then you're only known as being this. Yeah, but if you're only known as being his ex,
no, well, some of these people were known outside of him. Yeah, but obviously not as much as Taylor.
Right. So like when you think about Travis Kelce being attracted to Taylor, right? As much as people want to put in the race card and stuff like that to her, it's like you are forgetting that this is Taylor Swift, bro. Like it'd be the same thing as him trying to like hit up on Beyonce. Like these people have so much notoriety to their name that I don't like. As much as you want to try and put like, oh, she's white or oh, she's black or whatever, it's like they are what they are because they have more like substance to them. I don't even think that's a good point. Like, to be honest with you, I just feel like it's dumb for you to be like, it's about race. It's like it's the fact that she's
fine though.
Like she might, yeah, she's fine. That's great. But I'm
just saying, like,
but like you're talking about a woman who's like, who has built up her thing but like that.
The things that you're saying right now is part of what I'm pushing back on. Because you're like, people are defending Travis, like people are saying like Travis had the biggest fumble of all time going from this to that, right? And what you're doing in that conversation is that you're prioritizing aesthetics and looks as opposed to substance, right? And then if you retort with like but Taylor Swift is like super famous and she's worth 700 million. What you're doing is prioritizing popularity over substance also.
Well, no.
That's not
what I'm doing. Cause like what
that's what you said. You were like, she brings in so much notoriety that you
like,
gotta.
It's the fact that's not what I meant. Like what I meant is like she has all of that to her, right? So because you can't deny that that's part of like Taylor Swift. But the reality of the matter is it's like when you are somebody who's hitting on Taylor Swift, for instance, like Taylor Swift has dated people who are not like as famous as her multiple times. Like
you could make the argument that she almost exclusively dated people that are not as famous as her.
Yeah, so it's like, and like the idea of it is it's like, it's not that I'm like defending that or talking about like, oh, like this girl doesn't have substance because she's like just whatever she is or she's not as famous or whatever. Like, dude, like you can look however you want to look. The reality of the matter though, for me is if he was like, I like this girl, right? And she has all of this to her, but still goes out of his way to shoot his shot. I don't understand where people are having to put two girls against each other or Taylor Swift against any of his exes based off of either her money or based off of her looks or based off of each other's like how they compare to one another.
Okay, then yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like if Travis Kelce was like, yo, I find it like, let's say, right? I don't know anything about them, obviously. Let's say he's dated people, right? And in his mind, he's like, I just feel like we haven't worked out because and this goes back to the most basic rudimentary thing that you can imagine on relationships. I feel like they don't have as much motivation as me to get to where they want to be, right? And so I don't like that. Doesn't matter who the fuck the bitch is, right? But if let's say Travis Kelce saw her, obviously known of Taylor Swift, and he's like, I find that really attractive of her. You know, to still, despite all of the rumors, despite all of the things that she's had or whatever, like I find it very attractive of her to keep doing what she's doing and to garner as much success as she has. I, as somebody who feels like whoever the fuck I am, right? Based off of whatever shadows I've had to overcome. I find it very attractive of her, and I want to pursue this woman. Pursue the woman, right? And he did his due, and now he is garnering a maybe, I don't know, a relationship, but he's definitely garnering some sort of connection with her to the point where she's just as interested in him. And it's like, at this point, we're not even talking about whether or not she looks better than his exes, whether or not she's got more money than his exes. It's the most rudimentary thing. Like, are you more compatible to me than other people might have been in the past? Right?
And they might not.
And they might not be.
And they might not be compatible. But that's why I've been so annoyed with this national conversation.
I do think it's kind of I hadn't heard this. I've been on the everybody fangirling over T Swift and right. him. I didn't even know that people were complaining or like
I'm more
bringing this race card in there, which I think is stupid. Like, I think it's really dumb. It's just somebody liking another person.
Right. I'm more plugged into Black Twitter, so a lot of these things have been saying, and my biggest pushback is essentially what I was saying earlier. Whenever you say it's the biggest fumble of all time for him to move on to T Swizzy as opposed to whoever, right? You're prioritizing looks over substance, and then whenever the retort is, well, it's Taylor Swift, yeah, she's worth $700 million, or hey, it's Taylor Swift, she's more popular than him, or whatever. What your counter argument is prioritizing popularity over substance. Mm-hmm. And my argument is, okay, what if he started a relationship with a woman, found that they didn't work, were incompatible, mm-hmm, found that was around this woman, found her attractive, yeah, decided to pursue it, and what he's actually, like, the behind the scenes things is, what if he found the substance of his ex valuable, and then it didn't work out, yeah, and then what if he's finding the substance of Taylor Swift valuable and he wants to explore that, yeah, like, substance over everything. And this is part of the reason why on a national dialogue I don't like getting involved in people's relationships, because it boils down to this thing: either you're looking at a woman for looks, yeah, and not substance, or you're looking at popularity and not substance. Yeah. And I'm like, no, look at the substance. I don't know the man. I don't know what he values or whether he's superficial or not. But my guess is that there was something about his exes that he liked. Yeah. And my guess is that there's something about Taylor that he likes. Yeah. So whether those two things are, whether he likes the same type of thing in both of them and they both share that quality, is irrelevant. Yeah. Why are we putting these, why are we making this conversation about, oh, I can't believe he's like my resulting to like not dating black women anymore. My thing is like, where does the race card come into this? Like, I don't understand where, like, if he has a preference to something, right? Okay, he's got a preference to something, or if he likes girl, if his preference is, I like beautiful women, you can't tell me that you wouldn't, that Taylor's face isn't pretty. Like, you can't tell me what he may or may not find beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so at that point, it's like, if he's dated who he's dated, and if they've all been black, okay, and the fact that he's dating a white girl now, what is that? Where? It just means he got range. It just means he got range. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, hey, King, do what you got to do, because do what you want. Do whatever you want. Like at the end of the day, like, so what? Like, it's like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that she's. As a guy, I'm gonna tell you what I see as a guy. What'd you see? Because I see a lot of the girls' opinions out there in the Twitter sphere. As a guy, all I see is my man's. Hey, game is game. Game is game. Game is game. If you could date this, and then you could turn down, flip it, and reverse it. Yeah. And then manage to get T Swizzy to be like, hello. What's up? Hey, what's up with you and me? Bro. What's up with you and me? So when we drinking together is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, I will say this. It's like, I'm paying respect to Kelsey for being able to bag, like, your obvious baddie. Alejandro, look. That's magical. Like, I say this in the sense of all utter respect to women. That's an obvious baddie. You see that and you're 100%. Like, damn.
right? But
100%.
And in respect to Taylor Swift and everything, is also like, bro, like, it's Taylor Swift. Like, you know what I
That
mean?
man probably got a hella game.
That man got
That's the
hella
only
game.
thing.
That's what I'm getting
That's
from
the only
this.
thing I'm seeing in this whole equation
What I'm
is
getting
that this man got
Kelsey
the Riz.
got game. He got the Rizonator. Okay, he is the Riz master.
Right now, he
Right now
he top Riz.
He
top
the Riz Lord. Okay, like,
Yeah.
there is just no
the emperor,
the emperor,
the Riz emperor,
He
fucking Riz dictator,
got Riz for motherfucking days.
Rizzler.
Okay? The Rizzler. Because word on
and she giddy too. Like,
word on-
like Taylor
oh,
Swift,
hell yeah.
Taylor Swift out there the games like cheering, like, girl, I didn't know you like football like that. You know the
She's
rules.
Also, she's also from, like, where's she from?
Tennessee.
There you go.
What does that have to do with anything?
You know, well, people from Tennessee tend to be very big on, like,
People from Texas are big on football. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing out there.
you don't know how football
I mean, I know how it works. I'm just saying, like, they'd be like, 32, holding.
Yo, bro, you know what?
play 10 yards. And I'm like, what did they say? I see sign language, and all of y'all moving this way. So I thought it was cool.
Like, overall, I think the whole T Swizzy and Kelsey thing, I'm living for it. I'm giddy just as much
I'm
as
annoyed.
she is giddy. I love it. I love to see it. I'm excited for her. I'm excited for the girl. I think that, you know, the word on the streets, or word on the internet, is that she was attracted to the fact that he shot his shot.
Was it a DM? That would be disappointing.
No. It was he put it on he was like talking about it on his podcast, or talking about it like in general, right? On like the interviews or whatever for
He manifested it. He said, like, yo, Taylor dope.
He talked about the fact that somebody caught wind of the fact that he was at a Taylor Swift concert when she was at Arrowhead Stadium, where he plays at for the Chiefs. That he wanted to give her, because she has this thing where, like, friendship bracelets or whatever the fuck are common, and like, so like everybody makes these little bracelets, and you trade them all throughout the T Swift, like, Swifties, right? So he mentioned how he was there and he didn't get to give her a bracelet with his number on it, and how he wanted to shoot his shot because he found her attractive, and so what he said, I think he even said it on Twitter, he was like something along the lines of, went to go watch Taylor Swift rock Arrowhead Stadium, I'd be open, or I'd want her to come see me do my thing at Arrowhead Stadium, right? And so he somehow he shot his shot that way, and word got to T Swifty, and she was like, okay, well, let me take you up on that offer, and let me go watch you do your thing. And that's what happened last week, with her going and being like, okay, I appreciate that you openly into the world were like, Taylor Swift, I'm hitting on you. Come here, baby girl. You know what I mean?
Pull up.
And so I think,
What's up with me and you?
what's up with me and you, girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that. And I feel like, or better said, there is this conversation happening about the fact that Taylor Swift was like, you are openly pursuing me in front of the media, in front of this thing, which with Taylor Swift, a lot of people have,
They go behind the scenes.
it's garnered attention that people avoid dating Taylor Swift because they don't want to become part of her songs, or they don't want to be part of whatever, right?
For real.
And that's like her big.
If you get a song in the near future that has any Native American inklings,
like,
you know what she's talking about.
Any football, whatever.
Any kind of like sports dialogue, any kind of Native American words.
Like,
if she starts singing her spirit animal,
So,
you know what I mean? There's a problem.
So,
you already know what happened.
So like the fact that he did it so openly and he didn't give a fuck, because he looks like the kind of guy that's like, I don't give a fuck, I like her, I'm gonna shoot my shot, right? Because that's just his personality from the looks of it. And I've garnered deep down into this rabbit hole.
He's a very confident man.
He's a very confident and
very attractive,
charismatic and witty looking man. And so
he kind of looks like a Chad, but it might just be the football essence around him.
But it gives like chaos.
But he seems very confident.
It gives chaotic and like semi-crackhead energy, which I think.
What the fuck? That's not where I was going at all. What the fuck? That's not what I said. That's not where I was going.
What?
He doesn't look like a crackhead at all.
I didn't say he looked like a crackhead. I said crackhead energy.
What does that mean? Like he's
What do you
like,
mean?
like
What do you
he's-
mean?
Like
What do you
he's-
mean?
Like he's like you never know. Like he doesn't give up, or like what? Like what are you trying to say?
I mean, like he gives very like ADHD.
That's not what crackheads are.
I feel like that is what
No,
crackheads energy
crackheads
gives me.
are not ADHD.
Crackhead energy gives me like, you know, you bouncing off the walls, you like, yeah. like like you just give like I don't give a fuck.
You being discriminatory towards crackheads right now?
No. How is that discriminatory?
You said you generalizing crackheads right now.
I'm saying crackheads just be, you
Be
know,
what?
they be not
They
giving
be.
a they be not giving a fuck about who they be.
And you think
They
Travis,
just be. And
you
he
think
just don't
Travis-
give a fuck about who he be. He just is.
Damn. I got crackhead energy.
Yeah, you do. I would describe you as crackhead.
That's
energy.
crackhead, bro. That was wild. Okay, so
A crackhead don't give a fuck that he's a crackhead.
he seems like a very
He just
confident,
seems like a
charming
very
guy.
like whatever guy. Yeah. So like that is.
And you know he's passionate, and you know he's kind of like a manly man because he plays football, and he, you know what I mean. Don't like the stash though. Don't like the stash.
You don't
at
like
all.
the porn stash?
Oh hell no, bro. Get rid of that shit.
It's giving. It's
Get
giving
rid of that
Richard.
shit. Who?
Richard.
Friends.
Yes.
Friend. Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck
It's
was
giving
much more
Richard.
attractive than.
Of course, but like it's giving Richard.
He pulled that off more. Nah, this one looks like. This looks like Midwest. Like
But he
it's
is.
not good. It's not
But
a good
he
look.
is, though.
It's not a good look.
That's all right. You know, that's
He can
up to-
shave it. He'll look
That's
good.
between him and Taylor Swift
I guess so.
at this point.
I guess so.
What tickles her? What doesn't tickle her?
What doesn't tickle her?
Does she like to tickle? I don't know.
Cosquillitas. Okay, listen.
Okay,
Listen.
but like
now that you brought up my boy Richard, can we please talk about, if we're gonna keep talking about men that got the Riz, can we please talk about McDreamy? Mm-hmm. This man showed up to that award show.
This was a while back, but
Bruh.
my dude, how old is he? Like,
He's like in his 60s.
is he 60?
I think so.
But I don't know because
He's close
I
to
sent
it.
you the video of like him throughout the years, and I never realized that
He looks better now.
He had the George Clooney effect, better than George Clooney.
Better than George
Better
Clooney?
than George. Look at George Clooney now.
George Clooney look good.
Yeah, but like I'm all
George,
looks
if you
better
want to
than
talk
him.
about the Riz, my boy George Clooney bagged a diplomat.
Yeah, but
you know
like,
who that woman
I
is?
feel like Amal really be like, I'd be like, oh, you know, Amal's husband on him, rather than like George.
What'd you say? What are you saying?
Like I would reference him as Amal's husband
100%.
rather than like
100%.
George Clooney's wife. So like to me, George Clooney ain't doing enough.
She bagged him, not the other way. Wait, is that
No,
what
he
you said?
bagged her.
He bagged her, not the other way around.
He is the reacher.
He
She
is
the
the reacher,
settler.
100%. That woman is
Do you
next
believe
level.
in that? Do you believe in that? That there is always somebody that's reaching and one is settling?
100%. 100%.
Okay,
But I also think that there is reacher in terms of status, and there's a reacher in terms of essence, like personality.
Essence.
Right? Because like you can be top status, right? Like say Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is like high status because he's rich, he's a billionaire. So like a regular girl, doesn't matter how much, like right, a commoner, a proletariat, right? It can go and reach for a Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Yeah.
However, Mark Zuckerberg might be the reacher in terms of social capital. Like if he can't own a room, if he's socially awkward, if he's not confident, if people don't like gravitating towards him in public spaces, and she's the life of the party, then he might be reaching for her.
I see what you mean.
In that sense, right? So I do think that there's a reacher and a settler, but I also think that it's much more complicated than like a holistic reacher and
I see
settler.
what you mean.
Right?
I see what you mean.
I can totally see a world where somebody is like extremely financially stable, extremely like well off in certain aspects of life, but are reaching for people that have so much social capital that it would be impossible for them to be around those people without feeling intimidated by their confidence and their presence. The only reason I say that is because there's been plenty times in my life, in examples, and I'm not trying to use this as a cocky moment or anything like that, but I've seen how just by sheer confidence in a public space, you can garner a lot of eyeballs and attention from people that would otherwise never talk to you, only because you're in a position where you are gathering people's attention. Yeah. Think about an artist is a very good example. There is a common stereotype, I'm sure, a romanticization of, say, like a singer, songwriter, guitarist that sings like really great. Like they might be financially like ridiculously on the bottom. Right? But some people might look at that and be like, oh my God, fucking voice of an angel, like blah, blah, blah. And they might like, right? Because in that moment, when they're doing their thing, they're demanding a certain presence, certain essence. They're demanding a certain level of like gravitas in that moment. And that the other people that are watching might be like, oh man, I want to be around that. I want to be around that kind of environment. I want to be around, right? Those people are reaching, right? If you put him, you take him off of that theater. If you take him out of that environment, and now you're at a fundraiser, right? The person that has more money, more well versed around those circles, the musician that's nobody might be like, oh shit, like this isn't my vibe. Yeah. And in that mode, you're reaching.
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's a constant like switch and
it's a tug and pull, right? But
yes,
a push and pull. But so I do believe that there's a reacher and a settler, but I think it's more complicated than just like superficially speaking. I think that people that match the best are reachers and settlers in their own realms. Does that make sense? I think people that match the best are probably match really well because in one domain they're the settler, and in another domain they're the reacher.
I think that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
There's always a constant equalization of it. It's never just like super one way than the other.
100%. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
I agree. I will say McDreamy though looked great.
Oh my God, this man made me insecure over the fucking phone.
Looked so good. I was just like, wait, hold. I think you sent me something, and I sent you something before even knowing that you sent me something. Right. So like, that's the effect that McDreamy had, and I feel like I don't know. Like I'm a big person on like peaking. Like at different stages of your life. Like I don't think that there's ever like man,
that man looked good.
Like I think that if you can peak in your Clooney years, you did better than anybody else.
That's Asian like fine wine.
Yeah.
Bro, that man, I wouldn't be able to be in the same room with that man.
I would be very much like, oh my God.
I would feel insecure as a man. I'm gonna be honest with you right now.
As a woman, I would be like, I don't think I would. Yeah.
I would be like,
I wouldn't even be able to think.
Dude, what are you doing? You fucking it up for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like
I could be with my girl, and if this man's is around me, I'd be like, we leaving.
We're leaving.
What are we doing?
Disrespect.
What are we doing? I'm not going to have you just wafting this air.
Like,
what is secondhand McDreamy?
Secondhand McDreamy.
Fuck out of here. I got to turn insecure real quick. That man is...
Turn into Jonah Hill for like a minute.
Real quick.
You're crossing my boundaries. My boundaries are being crossed right now.
This is my emotional truth. Respect my emotional truth. Bruh, that man is an attractive man.
It's a very attractive man. He's beautiful.
It is. That is genetic lottery for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I will say, though, he's definitely a Clooney because his, like,
I still think Clooney takes it, but...
Well, I think, like, the usage of Clooney obviously, like, makes it.
Yeah, he pioneered that.
Like, he pioneered it. Like, like if you're going to talk about a man, like, peaking in his, like, later years, it's because you're going to say he's pulling a Clooney.
It's a Clooney move right there.
He's pulling a George Clooney. Like, you never... Even people like Tom Selleck, who looked better in his
Pierce Brosnan,
like all of these men, I'm oh yeah, that's George Clooney. That's the George Clooney effect
Clooney
of
for
like,
sure.
come on,
What's
You
the
know.
James Bond? The latest James Bond? He's on the older side. Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. Ooh, that man too. Ooh, all of these men. Yes, I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Who I feel like a lot of men now have been
Butler, Gerard.
Speaking of Gerard Butler, I did want to like cross over into that based off of the conversation we were having earlier about heroes and like villains and stuff like that, which we will get to in a little bit. But he's one of them. Please, because when I watched like P.S. I Love You, I was like,
Stop.
wow, he's a
cried.
beautiful. Yeah, I know you cry. That's like your feel good movie, or not your feel good.
That's not
like,
my feel-good movie.
That's
That's
your
my, like-
feel movie.
Oh my God,
Like-
bro. I cry in the first 10 minutes. I
I
don't stop
know.
crying either. I don't stop from the first 10 minutes. Like the first moment I watched P.S. I Love You, 10 minutes in, I started crying and I was like, what is this? The narrative doesn't make sense. But I was like crying, and then I was watching the whole movie. I cried, and then I cried afterwards because I'm like, why would they do that? Like, I don't understand why like this movie just messed me up so much. And then afterwards, every time I put on that movie, which I put on every now and then, every time I put on that movie, I was like I cry in advance because I remember the
It's like a
feeling.
minute start. You feel what every girl feels.
And
but,
Hilary
like,
Swank didn't deserve that.
yeah.
Like, for real.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't even think I have a movie that does that to me.
100% P.S. I Love You fucks me up. This
That's
man.
interesting.
And it's also like really unfair because it's so unrealistic in the sense that like no man could do that. No man could ever plan out these like no man is ever gonna know. And I'm gonna out y'all. I don't care. I'm gonna out y'all. No man will ever be able to pull off a letter a year after the death that predicts her exact mood. No way. There's no way. It's completely unrealistic. But this man helps me shoot for the fucking stars.
Does he?
This character helps me shoot for the fucking stars. I'm like, man, bro, I know a woman wrote you, so you're not real.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know
oh
that.
my God, yes.
I know
because,
that.
oh my God, yes.
I know that the only way that this version of you exists is if a woman wrote you.
Because a woman
You know what I mean?
A woman cooked it up.
I know.
And that's what happened.
I know. And I know.
yes.
And for that reason alone, I know you're not real.
Yeah.
But fuck me, dude. Like,
now you gotta be like out here thinking like, what?
I felt immediately. I'm like, I can't make a gesture. Like, I gotta like come with it with the gestures, with the romantic gestures. I gotta come with it, cause like
You gotta start
I don't even
consulting
know
women.
if I got cancer. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like even in my death, I gotta live up to something. Bro, I'm dead. I can't just be like, I love you no more. I can't just look her deeply in the eyes and in my deathbed and be like, you were the one forever. Like, you know what I mean? Because you as a woman are gonna be like, so
But
no,
Gerard Butler,
but like
P.S.
no
I
letters,
Love You, like had letters
like-
and like flowers and
because
like,
you know she's gonna go up to her next dude and be like, yeah, I loved him, but like he didn't even give me no letters afterwards.
Yo, watch. Wait, imagine.
You know what I mean?
Imagínate que like you die, right? Don't die, right? But like que te mueras and
There was a fly. I felt the fly. I felt the fly still there. Okay, go.
imagine you die, right?
Yeah.
And like you do that, right? You manage. You know you're dying. You're in your deathbed. He said que pedo, right? And you're like, you come to me or you go to somebody and you're like, hey yo, I need this to be done so that my girl gets love from beyond. Wait.
And the fact that it was her mom too.
Yeah. And it's like what, right? And then you're like, okay, cool, right? Whatever. Pero luego.
Love from beyond. Twilight Zone. Love from beyond.
Love from the beyond.
That's good. That's what the name of that movie should be. Describe that movie in 5 seconds.
Love from beyond.
Love from the beyond.
Love from the beyond.
That's so good. Okay,
like,
go.
let's say you get this love from the beyond situation, right? And like she's getting these letters and flowers, you know, it's like a pedo, right? Because like because I've seen it in effect now, but not necessarily with like, well, yeah, like we'll be like, my dad planned out the next 5 like birthdays for my mom because he knew he was dying, so he made sure that like like with this florist ever always send it, blah blah blah, y no sé qué pedo, right? Entonces, imagínate que you're young and that you have like
unrealistic expectations.
This happens to you, right? Super unrealistic expectations. Women, don't be thinking that this is gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
But like you do this, right? And then her next dude pulls up and be like, she's like, oh my God, but he did. Like, how am I gonna live up to a dead dude, bro?
Exactly.
I'm living up to a dead dude. I can't even fight this dude, bro, if I wanted to. I
can't even throw hands with the ex.
I can't even like argue with you man to man because you're more man than me.
You know what I would do? I would write one of those letters, and I would write one of those letters, and I'd put on like one of those like recorders, like one of those like tapes, and I'd be like, play this, and then as soon as they play it, it's gonna be, I'm just saying you could do better.
Marvin's Room starts playing. Just start
How you gonna fight me, new dude?
Fight me.
You ain't gonna fight me. Fight me in the beyond.
Fight me in the beyond.
You better start a seance if you want to catch these ants.
Get on that Ouija board.
Hey, get out of my bed.
I'm gonna tickle your toes.
You know that feeling you get? That's me.
that feeling you get if somebody's staring at you. I'm staring at you.
You know that breeze you get? It's not a breeze. It's me. Because I'm very limited. The way my bank account is set up in the afterlife, I can only like.
I'm very limited. I can only do so much to make you feel my presence.
So you see it as a small cold front, but it's anger. But on my end, it's anger.
That is my version of throwing hands.
Yeah, it's a throwing wind. Throwing breeze out here.
I'm gonna pull your feet a little bit in the middle of the night.
Tickle your toes. This little piggy went to market.
¿Qué te pasa, pendejo?
And this little piggy went home. Oh, bro, that's why they can't take us nowhere.
Can't take us nowhere, bro. What the fuck?
Okay. All right. So, can someone? I'm gonna move on from this before I fuck this up or I make this even more weird. Can somebody please explain to me what girl math is?
Girl math. Oh, bro. Hold on.
Can you please explain to me what girl math is? And I'll tell you what boy math is.
Girl math is thinking that like you're never actually spending money. Like that's why we're so like financially irresponsible. Girl math is the reason why I'm broke, bro. Like
what? Can you explain what girl math is?
It's just us like logically. I'm about to out myself in something. And this is girl math, but it has nothing to do with actual math. I'm convinced myself. So I was laying there with a man.
Girl math. Right there.
No, girl math was, I sat there and I was like, I'm not going to have sex with you. Right? This is a man that I'm with. Right? And like, I'm like, okay. And I convinced myself with religion to have sex with this man. Because girl math. Because in my mind, I was all like, the Lord wouldn't want me to do this because of this. And then I sat there and I was like, but I already have a kid. So really, if you think about it, it makes no sense for me not to do this because I already did the deed that got me like tarnished by God. So really, technically, I'm doing myself a disservice if I'm not doing this. And so really, I should just allow myself to do this because God would think that it would make more sense for me to do so.
That's girl logic.
That's
not
girl math. No, because that girl math and girl logic is the same thing. So it's like you like convince yourself that something makes more sense if you do it a specific way. So like my math was, I already got a kid, so I'm not breaking no like nothing. I'm not even religious, but
I'll tell you what boy math is.
What is it?
Boy math. I'll give you some examples. Boy math is thinking that women are gonna use you for the money that you don't have.
That is the stupidest boy math I've ever seen in my life, bro. Because I did see it. Well, I want a prenup. You make 45K. Relax.
Prenup for what?
For what?
Get a prenup for yourself.
For real. Like, you need to learn how to not spend your own money. What do you mean? You want me to not spend your money in case you die? Bitch, you ain't gonna have no money. I'm not even gonna have a 401k left after. You don't even know how to use that. I've seen the ones that it's like boy math. The funniest one to me was like boy math is thinking that 5'10" equals 6 feet. And like, what else? What else have I seen that's boy math that I thought was hilarious? And boy math hasn't even been given to us by men. It's all still women telling them that. Because I guess like, I didn't know this. I don't use the X or Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like so I don't know, but like apparently like men were having a problem with girls having their little fun and like being like, oh my God, girl math. It's like,
yeah. So what were they saying?
Like they apparently like guys were being like, oh my God, like girl math is stupid or whatever, and somehow angered women. And like, and when you anger women as a whole, it's never a good thing. Like just don't. Like there's no point in needing to do that. Like, you know, so they were like getting angry. And so women just started going off about boy math and then just started doing all these like threads on like boy math is thinking that, you know, whatever. Or like boy math is thinking that asking, did you come yet? Like, is that the answer is yes, but no, obviously not. If you're having to answer the question, if you have to ask the question, it's not yes.
If you didn't see it,
or feel it, if you didn't see it or feel it, it didn't happen.
No pasó.
Aquí no pasó nada. Aquí es un.
I don't know nobody.
No, you don't know.
If you didn't feel it or see it, it's like when the cops come asking questions. I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing.
Nothing. Literally.
Yeah, boy math seems to be pretty dumb. But girl math seems to be pretty dumb also.
Girl math is dumb, but we know it's dumb. If I don't buy something that's 50% off, I'm losing money. If Amazon says that I have to spend $50 to get free shipping and I don't spend $50 to get free shipping when I was only buying something that was worth $10, I'm losing money. Even though shipping was only $5. That is losing money. Even though I'm spending $40 extra to get free shipping. When I could have just spent the $5 to get my shipping regularly. I'm losing money. Like, that's the kind of math that, like, it doesn't make sense, but it, like, if you really try, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
The best one I saw was boy math is not choosing the $500,000 instead of dinner with Jay-Z.
What?
Because there was this whole thing a long time ago that was like, would you choose dinner with Jay-Z or $500,000 in your bank account? And people were actually choosing dinner with Jay-Z. And it was like, that's boy math.
Why?
I don't know. I'd have been like, bro,
give me the $500,000.
Hey, Jigga's dope, but I can tell him he's dope from a distance. I'll use the $500,000, buy front row seats to his concert, and be like, "You're dope."
You're dope.
That's it. That's all I gotta. What Jay-Z gonna tell me?
What Jay-Z gonna instill in me?
Here's what Jay-Z's gonna tell me: you should have taken the $500,000. That's what Jay-Z should have. That's what Jay-Z's gonna tell you.
Absolutely.
You should have taken your $500,000, put $100,000 in some low yield. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z would have put you on game right afterwards and be like, "Hey, stay strong, player."
Stay strong, player.
I just saw girl math everywhere, and I was like, what is this? And then I realized boy math was just as stupid. And then it made me think of girl dinner, and then it made me upset it made me upset because all the examples of girl dinner were just like women reappropriating poverty, and I was like, that made me upset because I used to have girl dinners all the time then, and it was like, bro, you can't use your laziness to describe that, like what poor people do. Piss me off. So now I'm mad.
Cause of girl math.
So now I'm mad, and it's a Tuesday night, and I don't know how to like, and I don't know how to release my anger. So I'm just there, like, ooh, you know what I mean?
That's funny.
And now I gotta go to therapy, and
And talk about
and talk
how
about
you're
it.
upset about
And my
shit
therapist is like, "What are you talking about?" Because my therapist does not on Twitter. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there we go. And then there goes my fucking hourly rate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yo, this beer does not taste good, like room temperature.
Well, why didn't you drink it faster then? You know that?
Because, a ver, así aquí dice que es 0.1, 0.9 fluid ounces with 8.5 alcohol volume. I want to know what that really means. I don't know what.
ABV?
Hey, what does that mean?
It's alcohol, but it's the alcohol per volume or whatever whatever at unit
Of what?
of Marcela. I'm not
Mira,
a fucking
aquí
doctor.
dice
Marcela.
serving temperature 41 to 45 degrees. It was not between 41 to 45 degrees.
It was when you got it.
Yeah, but not now. So that's why I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Yo, this shit's strong, bro. Like.
And earlier you were like, I could drink about 3 of these.
I could probably
right? She said that yesterday, right? She's like, I could drink about 3. I'm like, bullshit.
I drank 3 of the ones that they give me on tap, which is
They're
probably
the same.
I think it's less than. I don't think it's a whole. I don't think you're giving me a whole. Oh, it's 1 pint. No, what's this?
This is girl math.
Was 1.
This is girl math right here.
Was 1 PT?
1 pint.
Yeah, they're not giving me it. They give me a cup.
That's not a cup.
Yeah.
They don't give you a cup. They give you 12 to 16 fluid ounces
I stole
or
the
24 fluid ounces. At Flying Saucer, they give you them big ass cups.
No, they give me
The chalice, which is at least 12 to 24 fluid ounces. How
Which
many
is a
ounces
pint?
of that? Huh?
Is a pint? That's a pint.
A pint? I don't
Is
know
it
what a
pint?
pint is. Marcela, I'm no fucking scientist.
Let's see. Fluid ounces to pints. What?
Boom, 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 boom.
Mira, así, ¿nabe? Que this is 16 fluid ounces. Technically, it's 17 fluid ounces. So that means it's
What the fuck? What you mean technically?
because it's a pint and 0.9 fluid ounces in this.
Okay.
So that means roughly.
You guesstimating right now.
If it's 0.9 fluid ounces, that means I'm only 0.1 away from a fluid ounce. I'm just gonna take the 0.1 and say it's. That's what I'm saying.
That's not.
But
that's
it's
not
0.1.
the same thing.
It's 0.1 fluid ounces. Like 1.1, 0.1
You round
more.
down.
You round up.
No. I'm telling you right now, I'm 5'8". If I tell a woman I'm 5'10",
nah,
she's
y'all.
gonna be disappointed.
Nah, you don't have to round up. Don't round up.
Don't round up.
Don't round up. If you are a man,
Always round down.
round down. Underestimate.
Unless you're tipping.
Underestimate your value, okay? because
What kind of advice is that? Always think you're lesser than what you really are.
No. I'm not saying think. I'm saying promote. Okay. if you rocking with a 5-incher, tell me you got a 3-incher, because then you really know I like you for your personality.
But then you'll leave whenever you hear
and
the
then I leave
3-incher.
satisfied because I'm like, that wasn't no 3 inches. That was 5.
Yeah, but the moment you hear 3, you're gonna be like, I'm leaving.
No, because it's funny.
Excuse me? What's funny?
Like, if you joke to me about, I got a chode.
Who is joking about this? You know men that would joke about that?
Yeah, it's funny. And I'm like, I want to see it. And it'd be like, oh.
What?
And then they'd be like, okay. And they'd be like, nah, you ain't no chode. And it's like, yeah. But it's like, no, really. And then like, you just kind of keep talking to this person and it makes like more sense. And then you see it's not. But like, they still got what they needed. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. Underestimate and like undersell and you'll sell.
I don't have a problem with underselling. It's just the example that you gave.
It's true.
I am flabbergasted. Guys, from advice from another guy here. Don't do that.
But it works.
Don't even say the word chode. Don't even bring that up in casual
works.
conversation.
It works if you try to pretend, if you say things like, you know, like my 2-inch gang type of situation, or like, you know, one pump chump type of stuff. It's funny.
Who is telling you this?
I would never say that in my life.
Right? In my life, I would never be like, I never walk into a date and be like, yeah, the fucking king, the two pump dump here. Like, I would never say that.
But it's funny.
It's not
Maybe
funny.
I just find funny things that are not funny. I think it's funny. So like if a guy were to be like,
Bro, that is taking a risk.
Yeah.
That is taking a huge risk.
but you be bagging some really good
No,
things
you don't.
like that. I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Where? Where you
I've
see
seen
it?
it happen. Personally. I've seen it.
My own 2 eyes.
My own 2 eyes. Aquí, así.
I perceived it.
I seen it. I'm serious. But like, don't do that, but like do it. Only if
What you're saying is that they got confidence and riz and they're trying to be satirical and you're like, oh, I get you, and you don't, and what you're trying to say is you don't know if what they're saying is the truth or not.
So now you gotta find out.
So now you gotta find out. That's what you're saying.
And so it works.
But most men don't got that kind of confidence. So guys,
Oh.
if you do not walk into a day being like, yeah, it's minuscule.
You need a telescope to see this.
With your,
A microscope.
With your fettuccine Alfredo. Like, it's minuscule. You'll never find
this
it.
only worked because I was friends with this person. So like it makes sense. It made sense after a while.
See, you leaving out context is important. See, you
Like
leaving
I
out
built
context.
some sort of like actual like camaraderie with this person that I was like, oh, that made like I heard this enough that I was like, yo, really though? And it'd be like, you want to find out? And it was just like,
A ver.
¿en serio?
A ver. Mira. Mira.
No, but
Mira.
on
Che
that.
mentiroso.
Pinche mentiroso, eso no
Che
eso no era cierto.
Mentirosa. Mentirosa. Dale huevo. Okay, on that note,
On that note.
I'm about to give me another one of these. If we're gonna be the unofficial promoters of Delirium Tremens,
Yo,
I love this
Delirium,
beer.
for real, this is my favorite beer. If y'all ever see me at a bar and they got this on tap, just know this is what your girl needs.
Hey, you see me at a bar?
that good
Buy
shit.
me one of these. I'll get you a shot.
Así, bueno, tú.
I'll get you a shot. I'm funding this. So
I'm not.
until next time, like, subscribe, all the pages, all the stuff. Keep tuning in. We're gonna keep giving you. We're just a bunch of nobodies, but we're gonna keep giving you some insight, some of our thoughts, some of our crises, some of our opinions on national discourse. And if you like it, great. Follow us. If you don't, all right, well, don't follow us. It's cool. It don't matter to us. Until next time, follow all our shit. Peace. The degeneracy will stay alive. I need another beer.